Yo, lads. Okay, hope you guys are doing well. So, thank you for letting me take a day off. Dude, that was so much necessary. I feel so good. I feel so good. Damn. Okay, Wrench has his exam, so we'll get started with our stuff. How you guys doing? How's the weekend so far for you guys? Okay, I'll just do quick adjustment. Okay, and now I feel I'm ready. Let's share the screen quick. Hell yeah. Okay. Okay. Ready, lads? Let's get started with day 14 of this bad boy. Advent of Cyber, Containers, DoorDasher's Demise. Oh, I like this. I like this thumbnail. Nice. Okay. Finally, a thumbnail I like. I set up a lot of alarms so I do not miss today's one. I, I set up like 20 alarms within just 1 hour so I don't miss this thing. Okay, you guys can hear me well, right? Yo, Idor, what's up, bro? Happy weekend. How's the classes? Howdy, Wrench. Hell yeah. Wrench is busy today. It's interesting. You guys have like a full on reciprocal thing going on. Okay. So, ready to do this with us? All the best, Wrench. All the best, bro. Okay. But we'll get started by first saying all the best to Wrench for his exams. All the best, mate. Let us know if you want us to hack those people's servers. We'll do that. Okay. So let's after saying that, right? Let's get started. I have no idea. But yeah, let's get started with day 14, Advent of Cyber, Containers, DoorDasher's Demise. Continue your Advent of Cyber journey and learn about container security. I'm so behind with the match syllabus. Discrete match is not bad, bro. Remember, it's and versus or. That's where you want to use permutation combination. It's all English problem. Okay, so there are two videos by two people I don't know. Okay, good, awesome. That's all I remember from discrete maths in my university time. Okay, I see. All the best, man. R.I.P. Okay, let's get started now. Task one: Introduction. The story. It seemed as the sun rose this morning. It had already been decided that today would be another day of chaos in Werewolf. At least that's the feeling all the folks at DoorDasher got. DoorDasher is Werewolf's local food security site, a favorite of the workers in the best festival company, especially on long days when they got home from work and just can't bring themselves to make dinner. 24/7 me. We have all been there, I'm sure. Well, one Wereville resident was feeling particularly tired this morning and so decided to order breakfast, only to find King Malhare and his bandit bunny battalion had seized the control of yet another festive favorite. DoorDasher had been completely rebranded as Hopper Row. All of the Ware's favorite dishes has been changed as well. Reports started flooding into the DoorDasher's call center, and not just from customers. The Health and Food Safety Organization was on the line too, utterly panicked. Apparently, multiple Wareville residents were choking on what turned out to be fragments of Santa's beard. Wareville authorities were left tangled in confusion. Today, as Hopperoo faced mounting backlash over reports of culinary impersonation. Yeah, this one I can't say. Customers across the region claim to have been served what appears to be authentic strands of Santa's beard in place of traditional noodles. A spokesperson of Health and Food Safety Bureau confirmed that several dinners required gentle untangling, and one incident involved a customer achieving accidental facial hair synchronization. Interesting. DoorDasher Beardgate. Huh. Immediately, one of the security engineers managed to log on and make a script that would restore DoorDasher to its original state. But just before he was able to run it, Sir Carrot Bane caught wind of his attempt and logged him out of the system. All was lost until SOC team realized they still had access to the system via their monitoring pod, an uptime checker for the site. Your job as the SOC team member of DoorDasher, can you escape the container and escalate your privileges so you can finish what your team started and save the site? Learning objective: learn how containers and Docker work, including images, layers, and container engine. Explore Docker runtime concepts, sockets, daemon API, and common container. Escape privilege escalation vectors. Apply these skills to investigate image layers. Sure. One sec. Is it better? Is it better? This is better. I will say like this. I will talk like this. Is that better? Um. Yeah, I think here it should be. Okay. Awesome. So learning objectives: learn how containers and Docker work, including images, layers, and the container engine. This is your boy's favorite thing. This is my zone. Explore Docker runtime concepts, sockets, daemon API, and common container escape um, privilege escalation vectors. Apply these skills to investigate image layers, escape a container, escalate privileges, and restore the Docker Dasher service. Do not order Santa's beard pasta. Connecting to the machine. Before moving forward, review the following. So we'll have our attack box, virtual machine, and split screen today. So what I'm going to do quickly, going to open my Brave because this will make my life easy with the virtual machine. Okay, I started my machine here. Okay, start the lab by clicking the start machine button. We did that. The machine will start the split view and we'll have 2 minutes to load in case the machine is not visible. Go up. Once the machine has been loaded, you should be given access to Mr. Bombastic. Bomba Fantastic. You will be given commands to run a virtual machine or run on this virtual machine in the next task. Start the tag box as well. Okay, I think I need this to be. Okay, show me the split view. Okay, both of them are opening up. Cool. Okay, so note that it's recommended to open both machines in full screen view using small icons on the far left of the screen. Otherwise, you might get kicked out of Docker container when switching tabs in the split view. If you are still preferring to use the split view, you can switch between the targets. So basically, just open in the next one. Okay, now we have container security. What are containers? To understand what a container is, we first need to understand the problem it fixes. Put plainly, the modern applications can be quite complex. Depending on the environment the application is being installed in, it's not uncommon to run into configuration quirks, which makes the process time consuming and frustrating. Troubleshooting. When an application stops working, a lot of time can be wasted determining if it is a problem with the application itself or a problem with the environment it is running in. Conflicts. Sometimes multiple versions of application need to be run, or perhaps multiple applications which need, for example, different versions of Python to be installed. This can sometimes lead to conflicts, implicating the process further. So these are the issues with the modern application development. Basically, issues with the installation because of the configurations issues, and which wherever you are troubleshooting, because you are on different machines, a lot of time is wasted determining if the problem is with the application or the platform in the environment it is in. And conflicts because there are so many versions, everybody have their own version of Python and other things, software is downloaded, right? If reading these problems, your brain conjured by the word isolation as a solution, well, you are on the right track. Containerization solves these problems by packing applications along with their dependencies in one isolated environment. This package is known as the container. In addition to solving all the above problems, containerization also offers further benefits. One key benefit is how lightweight they are. To understand this, we will now take a look at container architecture. So we have containers versus virtual machines. To illustrate container architecture, let's examine another form of virtualization, virtual machines. These are the ones we use like using Oracle VirtualBox, like the ones you have been booting up on the platform through Advent of Cyber. Those as well. So I'll give you a quick idea with this. 1 second. So here, okay. So machine virtualization versus containers. What happens is we have infrastructure and we have our hypervisor, the virtualization, what is called software. And now for every time we run a virtual machine, this is let's say VM1, this is VM2, and this is VM3, right? Let's say we have these. You see the one interesting thing, guest OS here. every single operating system, for example, let's say Windows, takes like a lot of memory, right? Like 50 GB almost. So let's say if all three were guest OS for Windows, 150 GB of memory gone, right? Now let's talk about containers, right? This will be same bins and apps, so I don't want to go in detail. Now we have the infrastructure again. I don't know why this put the extra, but let's say infrastructure with the cloud or whatever, operating system and container engine, right? So what happens? This is same almost. This part is same. Container engine is just set above the hypervisor, and this is not super heavy. This is not super heavy. But what happens here is because of this, you don't need heavy guest operating systems. You can create just the apps with the libs and stuff here, right? You see the app and stuff. So you saved almost 150 GB by not installing guest OS for every single one of them. It Docker engine will take care, will create an environment using the certain packages to act as if it's on Windows. Okay, so that's basically it in nutshell. A virtual machine runs on a hypervisor, software that emulates and manages multiple operating systems on one physical host. This includes a full guest operating system, making it heavier but fully isolated. Let me know if you want me to explain any of these things. Containers share the host operating system kernel, isolating only applications and their dependencies. Rupanta, what's up, bro? So, bro, does different operating system can be run on containerization? Any type of operating system, boss. For example, let me tell you this. Let's say this, right? I want to start app 3. First thing I will define, let's say I want to run app 3. There is a Docker file that in that I create a very what's this called, because there is no GUI, there is no extra, it's just we will go the basic bare metal what's this called version of the operating system you want. So in this Docker file I can mention, hey, I want to start with, you can check this out, Alpine Linux, right? And then you can mention, hey, install Python version, let's say 3.1 or 3.10, sorry, right? You can have Alpine Linux in your Docker file. You can have even Windows. You can have any type of thing. I'm not sure about Mac. I don't think you can have Mac, but you can have Alpine Linux. You can have Ubuntu. I use Ubuntu for my bunch of my images, and you can have, let's say, Windows also, Windows 7 or XP, the OG, those things. You can run basically any software that's available. To check which ones are available, there is something called Docker Hub, just like GitHub, but for containers, right? And you can see all the things that are there. Here's the link, lads. Like the virtualization, can you run both Linux and Windows together? It can be done. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Basically, think about containerization, right? Is same as virtualization, but there is no GUI, so it saves a lot of that extra memory because you just want to run the app. You don't care about the GUI of the operating system, right? You don't want like these. You don't care about the operating system GUIs like this one what you see, right? Cool, awesome. That's a good question. Okay, I'll just adjust quickly, and we can even like extend this stream a bit. If you have more questions, let me know, right? Or there are certain questions you want to talk after the stream, let me know. I'm good with this. This is my realm. Okay, containers share the host operating system kernel, isolating only application and their dependencies, which makes them lightweight and fast to start. So here's the thing: a full guest operating system in containers, basically we are using the host, the Windows operating system, but isolating our application and dependencies, right? One of the dependency is it should run on Linux. Those type of things. Virtual machines are ideal for running multiple different operating systems or legacy applications, while containers excel at deploying scalable, portable microservices. Remember, for certain use cases, virtual machines are better than containers. For certain use cases, containers are better than virtual machine. That's why they both exist even after 20 years of containers coming into the game. Application at scale. Microservices are a switch in the style of application architecture, where before it was a lot more common to deploy apps in a monolithic fashion, built in a single unit, a single code base, usually as a single executable. What is monolithic is, let's say you are building Google Maps, right? Earlier, you would have an architecture like this. Let's say your code, right, will be in one server, running in one server. All the stuff inside that server, like for example, this is Maps, Google Maps server. You will have all the APIs here, backend APIs. You will have like the, let's say, the business, the logical layer written in, let's say, Java Spring Boot. And then you will also have the GUI, or like, let's say, if not the business, the API handling stuff. This is actually, I fucked up. It should be the above one. But let's say other code, or let's say GUI here. Okay. User interface for web apps, right? This is the web application written in React. A server, map server, earlier was hosting things like this, right? And this will be connecting to all the databases. This is called a monolithic architecture in which everything is in one place, right? In one chunk. What happened now is, with this containers, I can have in one server, I can have, let's say, container 1, container 2, container 3. What for container 1 will have? It will have the UI. What container 2 will have? Let's say a middleware for all the APIs. And then this one will have like the backend, full backend logic. One second, last. It will have all the backend logic. Now, beauty about this is they all are connected. They all are connected, right? And this will still is talking to database. But earlier, if I want to, let's say, have more users coming in, what I will need to do is I need to create a full server with all the same logic like this. I'll create another server and it would be talking to the same database here, right? Another server for this. But now here's the game changer. In an architecture like this, let's say my user interface is working fine. All I need to make sure is my backend, right, is like has enough power to handle all the requests. Instead of creating another server, I can just have my backend and then I can introduce that into the system, and my UI and APIs can talk to the this backend as well. And again, this will be talking to. So this is what Docker container does to you. Instead of because earlier all the code was together. Now the backend code is in a different container, and every container you can think of is as a mini server. Every container is a mini server, I just need, okay, I need extra, I don't need UI, I don't need APIs, that's good. But because of the traffic or whatever reason, my backend, I need to spin off another container just because of the backend, right? So if I just need backend, I will only start the backend container. But in case of monolithic architecture, I have to start the whole server. Now, again, one thing I will tell you this is not said enough in this industry, in my opinion. Monolithic architecture still, in certain ways, is the king. It has its own benefits if written well. And even I think it was Ruby's on Rails founder, the creator of Ruby's on Rails, said they moved from a Docker microservices architecture. This is microservice because there are so all these containers are called as service. So microservice architecture is shit, and they had to pay such a big Amazon cloud services bill. They went back to their monolithic architecture. Again, this is every single thing here means that depending on what case, you might want microservices versus called monolithic. Amazon Prime Videos run a monolithic architecture, but Netflix runs a microservices architecture. Have a look at those articles. Okay, hopefully you understand this, and the reason I'm spending time because this will build a foundation you will never see, and it's very important to build that. Okay, application at scale. Microservices are a switch in style of application architecture, where before it was a lot more common to deploy apps in a monolithic fashion, just like I showed, built as a single unit, a single code base, usually as a single executable, a single app, all running in one server. More and more companies are choosing to break down their application into parts based on business function. This way, if a specific part of their application receives high traffic load, they can scale that part without having to scale the entire application, just backend or UI or whatever. This is where the lightweight nature of the containers comes into play, making them incredibly easy to scale to meet increasing demands. They become the go to choice for this increasingly popular architecture, and this is why more than last 10 years you have started seeing the term more and more. That's true. A lot of people are moving to microservices. Still depends, I will say, on how you implemented the code. You may have noticed a layer called labeled container engine in the diagram. A container engine is a software that builds, runs, and manages containers by leveraging host systems operating system kernel. So basically, a container engine is like uh, here. Ah, okay. What does the container engine do? Container engine is very important to this game. What it does is it will show containers, right? Even though your operating system, let's say this one is Linux, right, or Windows, this container engine creates like almost like a hallucination, almost like a magic trick for containers. Let's say if this container wants to run on Linux and below here we are running Windows, this is the one that will say that will act as if the this is running on Windows. This is the game changer, Docker engine. And that's what its main job is. There's a lot of things it does, but basically, in nutshell, if your container wants Linux and is executing Linux type commands, this container engine will act and like create do all that stuff. Helps create all those things that are required or needed on a Linux one, and give all its services and commands or whatever. A container is just software that builds, runs, manages containers leveraging the host system's operating system kernel, like the namespaces and C groups. Uh, you don't have to go into namespaces and C groups in an introduction. Just let me tell you this. This is the way they separate containers, right? So don't they don't mix processes together. One example of a container engine is Docker, which we will examine in more detail. Docker is a popular container engine that uses Docker files, simple text files or scripts containing app environments and dependencies to build, package, and run applications consistently across different systems. Docker is the container engine of choice at DoorDasher, and so is we will be interacting with in our interactive lab. There are a lot of container engines, but I think recently I was reading about 84-85% of the market is still with Docker. So just learn Docker. That's all I can say. It's like almost Google Chrome of container engine in market share. Docker is an open source platform for developers to build, deploy, and manage containers. Containers are executable units of software which package and manage the software and components to run a service. Basically, this is an open source platform, which is great. Nitin, what's up? Jai Hind, bro. Jai Hind. Lovely. Good to hear that in the morning. Containers are executable units, right? So basically, container, you can run it. It's executable means you can run a container with which package and manage units of software which package and manage the software components run as service. They are pretty lightweight because they isolate the application and use of host operating system kernel. Basically, they don't need like the all the big Windows 10. They just need like certain commands to be Windows 10 commands to work, right? Escape, attack, and sockets. A container escape is a technique that enables code running inside a container to maintain rights or to obtain rights or execute on host kernel or other containers beyond its isolation environments escaping. For example, creating a privileged container with access to the public internet from a test container with no internet access. Okay, so what it means is you see this, let's say app 1, right? We are talking about app 1. This is our operating system Windows. This is, let's say we are doing Windows, and we have app 1 container, app 1, right? This is our container, and this has like, let's say, very basic Alpine Linux, right? Because Linux, if you download, let's say a Kali one, can go to 24 GB, but Alpine Linux is a very small, like half a GB level stuff, right? Or even actually lesser than that, because it just have certain, not all, the Linux commands, just certain the main ones which will make it work. So we have this app one, right? Linux container, and this is Windows. Windows is able to talk to my CPU, my talker, all those things. Sure, I will have a look. Thank you so much, Robert. Oh, yes, this is good. Thank you. Yeah, so this is Docker file and everything. Wait, it's not what I will be able to use. It's all good. I don't think I will be able to use for this example. But what I was saying, right? Your Windows operating system, right, is able to talk to your CPU, your RAM, and all the other actual hardware, right? Because that's what you're running as your host operating system. Your Linux app, right, using Docker engine talks to Windows, and then it is able to get access indirectly to all these things. What we are saying is, hey, through app 1, can we escape this and directly access these things? That's what escaping is basically dimension. For an example they gave was like, hey, we need to go to Windows to get the internet. And in this app, we mentioned there is no internet allowed, no networking allowed. So Docker engine here, we directly want to access internet. We want to escape that environment. Containers use a client server setup on the host. The tool act as the client, sending requests to the container daemon, which handles the actual container management and execution. The runtime exposes an API server via Unix socket or socks. Sockets, let's keep it sockets. Runtime sockets to handle CLI and daemon traffic. If an attacker can communicate with that socket from inside the container, right, they can exploit the runtime. This is how we would create the privileged container with internet access as mentioned in the previous example. So the runtime exposes an API server called via Unix socket. So basically, when we run the container, we will have this privilege, right? Oh, thank you, Robert. If an attacker can communicate with the socket, if you are able to talk to this basic thing like a CPU or socket or these internal level stuff, right? Low level stuff, you will be able to escape this. The challenge is your goal is to investigate the Docker layers and restore the defaced Hopper row website to its original service. DoorDasher, we are going to walk through the steps to beat this challenge together. So we have the access point Docker PS shows a list of containers that are running, and Docker PS-A shows list of containers that are there whether running or not. There are two things, right? Uh, in a just like let's say you have the games you will have in right like on your, let's say for example it's the games, right? On your system you will have games like GTA, Call of Duty, right? Chess and Sudoku, right? You have these apps, right? This guy. Okay, you will have these apps, right? You have all these games, but which of them are running apps, right? Let's say if you are running just COD, right? It will show that there is a difference between having games and running, right? Same thing with Docker containers. There's you might have containers. Let's say Google Maps container you have on your system for some reason, and you have let's say Google Chrome container and Google search container, but you are only running maps services on your system. So this is all the container list. This is ps-a Docker, of course. This will give you all the list of containers. Docker ps will give you a list of containers that are running, right? Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. And it will mention where they are running, what is the protocol they are using, what's this called, port they are using. Yeah, active versus like all the inactive and active, right? Yeah, thank you so much. That's a good word. The main service runs on this port number 5001. What is this main service? A Dasher app, right? This is our main service at 5001. So this is there are two protocols mentioned or like port numbers 5001 and 5000. There is from host, right? From host 5001 we can access the container at its 5,000. That so will Don't worry about it. What is happening in this? Let's say if I want to talk, right? I will say only I'm. If anybody in the world wants to talk to me, they have to go to my parents, right? They will talk to my parents, and then my parents will talk to me, and then you can talk to me, right? It's same thing, right? Let's say, yeah, it's same thing. It's like we will talk at 5,001, right? And the container has 5,000 as the open one. From our side, it has to be 5,001. The main service runs on this. Explore the web application and notice the deface system hopper row. We know DoorDasher is a food service, delivery food service. Let's explore uptime checker. Sounds interesting. Run the following uptime checker container. Docker execute it uptime checker sh. I will explain the meaning of this app. I know meaning of every single app in so detail in this case. Thank you for coming back, bro. Thank you for coming again. Uh, okay, let me make it big. Okay, you can log in, but please do not do anything crazy. Okay, we have Docker ps. Two containers are running, right? Now we'll do Docker ps dash a. You see there is one, two, three, four, five difference, right? And make it smaller. Right? Now let's go to the service they want us to go. This one is CyberChef reversal generator. CyberChef again, taken down CyberChef reversal generator. This is some different interesting name and by security. Okay. Okay. We have 5001. Welcome to Hopperoo. This is the app delivered to North Pole Workshop, Easter Bunny's delivery service. Yada yada yada. Santa's beard pasta. Anybody wants some food? One star. Okay. Some good stuff is done. Okay, we went there. Now we want to see a command to access the uptime checker. Hold up. Okay, this is our main thing. I need something other. One second, lads. So this is another server we have, and this needs to go big. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So we have things ready. 128. So this IP address is of the target IP with 5001, where all the containers are running. Sounds interesting. Run the following command: uptime checker. Let's see if I'm able to complete this. Probably not. No. Okay. Where we have to run it is here. So if I go docker ps, you can see there's uptime checker is one of the containers. Are you able to see this even? Is this actually visible? Hopefully it is, right? Let me clear stuff so it's easy to see. Okay, awesome. Thanks, boss. So if we do docker ps, it will give us a list of containers that are running. We have uptime checker latest, right? Then we have this DoorDasher app which we accessed at 5001, right? And then we have variable times, which I have no idea what this is about. This one is Python. There is an entry point for this, so if I can see the full command, that would be good, but it's not. Docker entry point, another full command I want to see. But now that I know what uptime checker is actually a app here, what I'm going to do is Docker execute interactively, right? IT uptime checker, the name of the container, and sh. What is sh? I want it to open a shell, right? So sh, I can have bash, it will open a bash shell. This one is sh1. I can have, let's say, I don't know, like if it was a Windows, I can type cmd or power command, a PowerShell. This is the command which we can give. So it opened the sh shell, right? So if we, it will work, it will do all the container Linux ones will work, right? So there's Docker entry point, dev, blah blah blah. Let's see what they want us to do. After logging in, check the socket access by running ls-la and then docker sock. Okay. So we ran this and we say read write. I'm just going to keep going from here quickly. Do I get access to this? Okay, it will be way harder for everyone to see. Okay. The Docker documentation mentions that by default, there is a setting called enhanced container isolation, which blocks containers from mounting the Docker socket to prevent malicious access to the Docker engine. So you are in the Google's Maps server, right? You have access to that container. You are a user. Let's say you somehow have access to a container. I don't want to give you access. I want to prevent anyone to access, let's say, Google Maps, the Google's Docker engine of the Google server. Why? Here is a big server. Here is your Docker engine. This could be running various apps, right? One of them would be Maps. One of them would be search engine, right? And one of them would be a new special they are working on, right? A special one. Now, accidentally, a hacker went into the special one. I don't want the hacker to see what is the code of search engine of Google Maps. So Docker engine should be very secure for those reasons, right? Because it can run different apps. It should be isolated for this special app. These two should not even exist. They do, even though in reality they do. Tech wise, they should not exist, right? So Docker documentation mentioned by default the setting called enhanced container isolation. The container, the app, the special one is isolated, same as goes with the maps and the search, isolated. Nothing exists on that thing, just those apps, according to those apps, right? Which blocks containers from mounting the Docker socket to prevent malicious access to Docker engine. In some cases, like when running test containers, they need Docker socket access. The socket provides a means to access containers via the API directly. Let's see if we can, right? Your output should always be like this. So we got this one. I wonder what happens if we try to run Docker commands inside the container by running Docker PS again. We can confirm we perform the Docker commands and interact with the API. In other words, we can perform a Docker escape attack. As an app user, I basically should not have access to the Docker or the special apps Docker, right? Like I should only have access to the app version of it. Like for example, Maps, you can access the Maps app version, the website, but not the container. The Docker container apps is running on, right? So that's what they mentioned. Docker PS again. Let's run that. We have uptime checker where will deployer. Okay, and then we have Dasher. Let's uh, let's instead try to access deployer container, which is a privileged container. Run this. Now if you see we have bash, we will run the bash this time. So first what we have to do, we are inside a different container, right? We were inside the different container. Uptime checker. Can I just directly access this one actually? Let's see, because it's still running, right? And we are able to see, which is interesting. Docker exec. We need to, okay, deployer bash, right? First we had sh, this time we have bash. Usually from inside one container you are not allowed to go into other containers, but this time we are allowed to. Usually you don't, right? The one container can't see the other one. Deployer at, this is the name of like the id of the container, and then apps. If you do s and see, one interesting thing in the sh one, they allowed it. That's the problem with this. They shouldn't have allowed it. That's a configuration issue. Certain times there are certain configuration you can allow it, but there is a problem with the configuration. They should not be allowed, right? So if you see, this is sh, right? When there is sh, you just see a hash, right, symbol with where the directory. In this case, because this is bash, it has username, the name of the machine, where you are, and the dollar sign, right? And that's what they are mentioning. Docker commands interact with the API. In other words, we can perform Docker escape attack, bro. I wonder what happens if we, like, listen to this thing. I wonder what happens if we try run Docker command inside a container. You should not be allowed to run Docker commands, or should not be able to show you any data inside a container. So there's a problem with the container itself. This paragraph doesn't seem much, but it has a bunch of hits. The sock file acts as a link between Docker engine, right? So if we misconfigure the sock file, yeah, 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 you're basically like sock file, and even like a Docker file, all these files, right? These are configuration files, right? Let's say, because I exactly don't know where they might have made the change. Let's say it's in the sock file, right? So, or that's another configuration file. In the configuration they mentioned that, or they didn't, like, you usually don't have to say it. It's given that Docker container should not have access to the host. Maps should not have access to the server, right? Because the error I mentioned, inside Maps I should only be able to talk to this through getting the CPU, whatever, right? And Docker should do that. I should not be able to. But if I'm able to talk to this, there's a configuration issue. Somewhere I fucked up very bad. Sorry for the word, but that's really bad. I would, if I did it in any way, I would be, it's such a big problem. If I ever did it, I would be fired without any like word being said to me. It would be very, very bad. So this is a very bad configuration issue. Just want to mention how bad it is. Yeah, no, I would be if I ever do it. These are the things I legit said. Hey, the doors. You know what? Like when you go to sleep, right, or when you go out of the house, you lock your door, right? A person like me, you lock the door. I remove the door. I just removed the whole door. I removed the whole window, everything. There is no door. You can't even lock it. That's what I did. If this is something like to put it. Yeah, vibe coders. That's why vibe coding is you need to know certain things. You can do vibe coding, but you need to know the basics. That's those are the issues with vibe coding. So GG's, RIP to the future. Now type who am I and check which user can be currently logged in as. You can be logged in as. Explore the container and find the flag. So let's go back. I like finally we are using black and white screen. For some reason I'm very happy. No such file. Holy. Wait. What? Explore the container. Okay, so oh did I type something? Oh, that's why. So who am I deployer? And you can actually see the name here as well. This is our bashes, right? Bashes format is user at the name of the machine, right? And the directory with a dollar sign. Then you do your commands. So this is same as what your who am I will come. So let's answer this first. Exact command list. Okay, never mind. Okay, we made it. We have managed to make it to the container where the script to restore the site to its former version is save the day, run the following recovery script in the root directory, recover the app using the sudo command. With that run, you should see for yourself by refreshing the site, this one. As a reward, you should be able to find a flag in the same directory as the script, which can be read using cat command. Okay. List this one, which file is used to define. Okay. So let's I'll give you this ls-al. So we have recovery script here, right? Recovery script, and we have flag.txt. So let's first cat the recovery one. I want to see what recovery does. DoorDasher recovery script. It just echoes everything. Restart Docker Dasher thing. So first version text, app version, and we need to go to worst version right here. Switching to first version of DoorDasher using this, copying the temporary version text file into the app, restarting the container. It's like same as restarting the server, right? And then you can cat the flag. Docker escape success. Beautiful, bro. Good job. What is the file used to define the instruction for building a Docker image? What file used for with instructions is Docker file itself. That's the name of the file. I can speak this language in like Steam. This is how many times I've used this. DevOps is fun, lads. DevOps is fun in so many ways. Okay, so we'll restart the this thing first. Dot slash recovery text or sudo. You have to go sudo. So it's restarting. Now let's go to the app here. Nice. From here, let's refresh. DoorDasher, finally things are back. Good job. Okay, now let's move to the next one. Bonus question. This is a secret code contained within the news site running on port 502. This code also happens to be the password for the deployer user. They should definitely change the password. Can you find it? Okay, let's do this too, lads. Let's do this too. Quick question. Secret code contained within the news site. So I will go back to here. See, Docker PS, in this case, I'm not allowed, right? But in the previous container, I was allowed. So I'll just go exit here. And I'm now inside another container. Oh, inside another container, I'm able to run it. So that's not good, right? Now let's see 5002. This is the one, right? Where will times, that's the one. So I will do docker exec execute dash it interactively. I want to have a interaction way. Where will, so I like to usually copy the container ID itself because that's unique. Because lot of apps, there are some people, very smart people, who will use the same name or really big names. So here, and then I will go bash OCI runtime exe failed, unable to start container. Okay, so instead of bash, let's say I will do sh because bash is not available in that server. Okay, I'm inside. Now, what we have to do, they're hosting a website here. Okay, let's see. PSOX, nothing here. There is a secret code contained within the new site running on port 5. This, oh, inside the website. Ah, I see what you mean. Was here. Yeah, deploy master 2025, which is very interesting. Why would they do that? No idea. I was excited. I was like, oh, we are going to go inside today. Alrighty. Yeah, this was a good room. Finally, there's a room that's good. I like it. This one was a kudos to TryHackMe. Good job, lads. We did it. Quick thing I want to actually check because Gand ka kida. Okay. The container vulnerability room. Just let's do a quick read of this. Huh? Oh, इसके बाद क्या होगा? Oh, after this. Dude, I was thinking we can let's read through the container one, and I want to actually chat with you. Yo, wait, Shriram, wait 1 minute. Wait, I wanted to chat with other people like about penetration tester one and like if anybody got the what's this called, the voucher, because let's plan on when, because I bought my voucher. I want to plan and book the dates for my penetration tester one, and we'll go through it. We'll fast forward it more. Yeah, so that let's do that. I want to plan that today a little bit so you guys have idea. But before that, I want to let's read this a little bit because I think it's going to be a good one. Container vulnerability. Learn how the common vulnerabilities found in Docker containers can be exploited when we deploy. Okay, 101. This explains the Docker container engine, network connectivity, privilege escalation. Privilege escalation every single container, imagine it as a server. Every single, or like a basically a machine. So you see here, container 3 with privilege mode, it's able to talk to the host instead of Docker engine, which is bad because it can then say, hey, host, if it's a host is running any firewall or anything, kill that. Right? So that's one. Then there is wait, what is it? Escaping through the exposed daemon. Unix socket, which is have a look at this thing, lads, if you get time. This will actually blow your mind what I just typed. If you understand, if you look into this and how Docker and this one thing. Yo, what's up, bro? Oink oink. But yeah, like if you look into C group, that will actually today itself, if you understand it, will take you like a couple of hours. But once you understand it, you actually can talk about this and show you actually know shit. This is C group is one of those extra things which once you know, you will be a G in the game. You will understand the world better. Remote code execution via exposed Docker daemon. That's interesting. And abusing the namespaces. Again, another one actually I will give you is namespaces, because C group and namespaces will go in together almost. But this is a really good thing. Namespace is another really good thing. Okay, so this is a good room. So this one actually is really crazy. This is something of a room that actually you want to learn and go through. I will save this room, man. Yeah, this is something we'll go through. Now, let's talk about this one thing, because Insomnia also bought this, and I think other people also bought Penetration Tester 1 certificate voucher, right? Yeah, right? Like, it's crazy good. Yeah. So, let me just, 1 second. Let me pour water. In 10 minutes, we'll chat, and then after 10 minutes, I'll close the stream. But I want to change certain things about our penetration tester one journey. I want to go faster in a fast route, right? We completed our pre-security path. We are at cybersecurity 101. I'm at cybersecurity 101, so not a lot, right? The holidays in October took some took me off the path. Then we have junior penetration tester. Web fundamentals, I have knowledge. Linux and Windows privilege escalation. Oh, what's up, girl? My boy, Bugatti. Bugatti. No, it was Bugatti, I think. Advent of Cyber may. Advent of Cyber has is 14 tasks today, right? As of today, there are 14. Uh, I don't like this site. They haven't done a good job on this. So there are 14 tasks, boss. No, no, no. Lead code is still coming, but it will be at the night time, right? Yeah, there will be total 24. Yeah, total 24 for today. Yeah, there will wait. Advent lead code will be tomorrow actually. Lead code will be tomorrow. My Monday. So what's it? Um to give you idea, right? Why I'm doing Saturday, Sunday. I usually don't do Saturday, Sunday streams because I burn out very fast. The only reason I'm doing is because of advent of cyber. There is one challenge coming every day. But usually my timings are Monday to Friday. This is Canada. They just timings that we know. In my morning around 8 a.m. or actually I want to hit 7 a.m. future. No, that's not a free one. You actually have to pay. Yeah. Is that the free certification? Your workplace server? My workplace server actually not. It was like certain one specific thing that actually had the issue yesterday. So I had to wake up at like in the middle of the night. So the good part is I'm good. So I just know what exactly to do. So going back, right? This is Monday to Friday, right? Nah, man. So giving going back, right? This is my schedule, Monday to Friday, Canada time. Hopefully in future I will have 7 a.m. where I will do try hack me, right? Nope, not doing that. Then we have at in the night, in the evening around let's say 8 p.m. I will do my lead code. I usually do only on like Monday to Friday. The only reason I'm doing again is Advent of Cyber, right? And yeah, so hopefully that answers your question, boss. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to work 8 p.m. PST. Yeah, so that would be your morning. That would be your morning in what's it called? I think 9:30. I can go. Yeah, right now I can only 8:30 p.m. nowadays because I have meeting from 7:15 till 8:15. So 8:30 p.m. actually put it 8:30 p.m. around that time because earlier was doing 8 p.m. but now I have like my stuff. Yeah, my workplace I think I need to change it because their schedule is pretty up and down. Yeah, hopefully that answers your question, boss. Penetration tester one certificate actually it's a 48 hours exam. Yeah, screwdriver. Yeah, that's the new word. The new one you used. Yeah, yeah. Okay, going back, penetration tester one. It's a 48-hour one, right? And it has CTFs, a bunch of CTFs, a lot of various things they will test you on. Not sure if there will be like other type of question, but CTFs for sure, a bunch of them. So we are at pre-security. I really want to fast track this, right? So I will be like trying, maybe posting a plan on how we can accelerate during certain days and hit specifically certain like we are almost done with networking, cryptography we did, exploitation basics we have to do, which is a good one. Web hacking we have to do. So I think I want to fast track this thing. So hopefully before January ends, we have actually done all of these. Oh, they added 2025. Nice. So yeah, I want to know your guys like what when you guys plan to do it, right? If you are planning to do it, well, that's one. Second, yeah, no problem, man. I understand. For me, even like I have to catch up a lot. There is one, right? Then for learning, for penetration test one, junior penetration covers a lot of cybersecurity 101, and same with Windows fundamentals. But things that don't cover, and these all have like, or if I create a Venn diagram, a bunch of things will be overlapping. For example, if we see here these two, like you will have burp suite basic done and map stuff done in cybersecurity. Metasploit you will be done in in the cybersecurity 101. You have just seen this in junior penetration tester, introduction to web hacking, right? Burp suite you saw here. Web fundamentals, these are good ones, right? And OWASP 2025 we did. Bro, I really wish I can just sponsor people's penetration tester one certificate. I really hope. I really hope. Yeah. So once we cover cybersecurity 101, we will cover majority of these things, and then we will have Windows privilege escalation, which is hard and good as well. Same with Linux, and then we will move to Active Directory, which is a very big part of this thing. Based on what I was reading, Active Directory is a very important part of this certificate, and you really need to learn this, right? Insomnia, what's up, bro? Yo, we are planning. I was actually talking about you. We were planning. So, quick thing actually, before starting the stream, right? I looked into this. Cybersecurity 101. These are the paths, right? They recommended. Cybersecurity 101, Web Fundamentals, Junior Penetration Tester. No, not yesterday. I was very tired. I was very tired. I slept till 2 p.m. boss. I could not get up on from my bed. Yeah. Yesterday I didn't, but yeah, we need to get started. So my goal is cybersecurity 101, right? At least complete this by, if not January, mid Feb, like before Valentine's Day. Active Directory, like, is I will tell you this. Active Directory is one of the most used ways to manage users. And if you can hack the server that manages all the users, you are good, right? You're like you are Gucci in that. I need to finish day 14 at first. Yeah, yeah, makes sense. But yeah, so we'll need to plan. What I want you guys to do is let me know in the Discord who all have penetration tester one certificate bought, right? Or would love to give next year. And we need to plan on completing this. I'm going to start like going a bit rough in sense of like trying to escalate this and move this faster. So we once we do that, uh, hopefully before Valentine's Day we will have this complete, so we can focus more on Windows privilege escalation, Linux privilege escalation. But my question is, how do you document the commands and stuff? I do like through Obsidian. I'm not good with it, but I can what I can do, I can send you some screenshot once I polish it over the weekends or over the holidays if you want. Cheat sheet I have not created ever properly. I will tell you this. I just practice so much. I try to memorize everything. Yeah, I know so many people who have done penetration one to one. They said you need to submit a report at the end of the exam, and the AI bot checks it. Yeah, that's also here. So we have Active Directory here. Writing pen test reports. Yeah, yeah. Then like their bot is like not good going to. It's like recently came right. But yeah, and their bot came late after the penetration tester one certificate was introduced, I believe. So we will learn about report writing, which is actually important with this, right? And it is very important, yes, like Insomnia and Rink said. And then exploiting vulnerability. So let me know, lads, one thing in the Discord, please. What do you think about this? Like, what do you think about if you are going to join us or me at least in this journey? And yeah, what are the certain things that you think like yeah we can create? I want to create like a whole map of okay, I want to hit this first, this first, this first, instead of like me saying oh which one to do today. I'm working on a plan. Hopefully we are able to hit and get penetration tester one. My goal is probably August next year, around 1st August or 15th of August. Top down, yeah, but like yeah, I think I need to like what issue I was having, Robert, is that certain times it's like it's becoming very dry. Certain times I will say I'm talking about things again and again, same thing. If there is changing in the topics wise, yeah, in the topics wise, if I just plan it well, like the reason they are dry because I've been let's say talking about only networking. I didn't change something, or I'm just changing so much, it's becoming dry for me, right? Yeah. No, you don't need a premium to get the path. You can, oh yes, for path certificate path, yes. Yeah, I think yeah, that's what I have to do. What I was thinking is, um, I want to know your guys' idea too. But like, if you see here, one thing I will show you. Why do I wear headphones? So actually, I wanted to. That's a good question. I don't either. I don't know why wear headphones. It's just a habit at this point. Yeah, probably it's just a habit now. It's just part of my attire. Can we make a schedule appointment until we have finished the boxes to get on? Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can do that. And I want to actually, I will be putting these things too, because if you see, there are so many of these rooms and CTFs. I'm going to go over. Hopefully, you guys let me know which rooms you think will be useful in this game, and then we'll start hitting them as well. So things are like, we read couple of let's say nmap ones. Let's do a CTF, couple of CTFs in there, so we are still excited about doing things we are actually learning and doing. Dude, I have so many headphones. You know my favorite ones? My favorite ones are these ones. I have like very interesting ones, but these are my favorite ones. The OG ones, yeah. For some reason, I don't know why. It's just these are the best. These are the best for me. Yeah, those are earphones technically. Yeah, yeah. Or yeah, whatever we say. I just love it. They're just so good. Yeah, I have like these AirPods too with the noise cancelling and everything. But I only use them after like I'm let's say if I'm in a library, I'm outside, I don't want to touch anyone, I don't want to talk anyone, like just want to go like ignore people even though I know them. No, dude, I just don't like them actually. Like these headphones are really good quality. I just don't like using them much, especially when I'm like in front of my computer. These are my favorite. This is somebody gifted me, that's why I have these. Yeah. But yeah, lads. One thing is, I want you guys please tell me, and I'm going to create. Yeah, sounds good. I will be creating a new room for penetration tester one. We'll just talk about those certifications. There's nothing we'll talk about, and we'll hit penetration tester one this year. Okay? Yeah, yeah. I'll do that. So hopefully, that's what I want to mention. Like, we'll plan together. We'll talk about certain rooms that we should be doing alongside with our learning ones, right? Instead of waiting to reach this. And if there are outside, right, outside these Avengers or these whatever, how many, 13 to 21. So 11 rooms, right, outside this, or 12 actually. Outside these 12 rooms, if you have anything in that you think will be a good CTF to add into this game, let me know and we'll plan out, right? Is there a room for any commands? What was useful for? I didn't get that on Insomnia. Is there a room for any commands that were useful? Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you just have to read other people's reports or find a few CTF sources that can filter my. Yeah, yeah. That's what I was about to do. Yeah, yeah, Insomnia. Yeah. So I was thinking, yeah, I'm just going to like go over what you said, Rover. Exactly thing. I'll just go over, type, let's say, nmap, talk about those, see what those things are doing, and see. And probably we'll do like CTF challenges mostly on the Friday nights because then I don't have any limit. I hope before this end of 2026, I'll be a good hacker and learn web hacking so I could start with bug bounties. Yeah. Oh, I'm buying the Humble bundle. So if you guys are, anybody wants Humble bundle books, let me know. I'm just buying it today. Yeah. My Friday nights. Yeah. So CTFs will be mostly Friday nights, and I'm just buying the Humble bundle, whatever. Humble bundle. This one has, yeah, probably. Okay, I will do that. I will do that. Yeah. And I will get the bug bounty cam. So if you guys want that, right? I'll try to get those things. No, this is actually comparatively like this is a good price, 50 $55. This is same what we got from our stream, like sponsorship. And I think Insomnia and Rover like gave the subscriptions, so those will help. You have all the PDFs? Damn, bro. Oh, yeah, you can. I think, yeah, find those PDFs. Yeah. Yeah, sounds good, man. Let me know if you have all these ones, then I don't have to buy them. Here, here's the one, lads. Yeah, this is a good time to buy too. Alrighty. Yeah, that was it, lads. Hope you guys enjoyed today's room. Sounds good. Thank you. Yeah, I will also try to look and find, and maybe like we can in future, right, for bug bounties too, we can just start like that bug bounty journey as well. Yep, I'm promoting that very well. Honestly, like for books, maybe I should not. Humble Bundle is a really good one. But I will say I do not care about piracy at this point because there are certain at this point, if you see how the world is moving, it's very cruel. It's just bullshit. Honestly, I'm sorry to say. Like, and piracy is taking a comeback. Like earlier, Netflix was so cheap. Nobody like, if you remember, right? Games and Netflix and all the like movies around 2000, things were so expensive. Cinema halls and movies and renting movies and stuff. Netflix was so cheap. Piracy, like from I think 2015 till 2022, 23, right? Nobody cared about like piracy. It was almost dead. Now it's coming back because Netflix, all these people have increased their like prices so much that people can't afford. It's going to come back. Whether you like it or not, it will come back and people will. One place, one specific company I do not care about when it comes to piracy, Adobe. I just do not care. I don't give a f. Yeah. Oh, nice, nice man. Yeah, because Adobe is one of those companies I hate for the prices they put. Yeah, and it's so bad, man, so bad. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. That's my rant. Hopefully, it doesn't hurt anybody. And maybe you share my pain. But with that being said, yeah, fuck Adobe, indeed. But yeah, that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. This has been your favorite hacker, Censored Hacker, signing off with another beautiful day. Hope you guys, dude, same. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you guys tomorrow or even in the evening. Let's see. Till then, CH signing off to enjoy his Sunday and take some afternoon naps. Thank you and have a good bye. Bye, everyone. They have good devs because they rip off the other customers for stuff, small stuff, and they can pay them. That's how it is done, Wrench. Okay, cheers, man. See ya. Bye.